From leaked developer bases to a base that will literally break your game, here are Clash of Clans' rarest bases. Many people use tall grass from the builder's base to write out messages or even make recognizable designs. But did you know that you can replicate this in the home village? This player took it to the next level by writing out his name with gravestones. That requires some immense dedication. From an outsider perspective, this Town Hall 7 looks completely normal, a few trees here and there, until you take a closer look and realize that this base holds 4 of the 2012 Clashofclans trees, some of the rarest in the game. But what's better than having some of the rare trees is having all of them. This player managed to wait over 13 years after the game was released to collect all 13 Clashofclans trees. Even better, he managed to line them up all in order of year. What might look like an ordinary Town Hall 11 account becomes 100 times more rare by simply looking at the center of the village and spotting the 4-sided stone. For those who don't know, the 4-sided stone is the rarest obstacle in Clash of Clans history that only spawned for a brief amount of time in the early days of Clash of Clans. While the 2012 Clashofclans tree might be fantasized as the rarest special obstacle with only 2,500 accounts, the 4-sided stone is estimated to have only 160 accounts total. What becomes progressively rarer is owning the stone while having a near max Town Hall 17 base. It must be pretty nice not having to worry about removing any of your obstacles. Drop a comment of the best obstacle that you accidentally removed. Right now, you might be thinking to yourself, how can an account get any rarer? Well, for this next base, I don't even have to say a word. Yes, this player managed to get not 1, not 2, but 5 of the rarest stones in Clash of Clans. No wonder he's called Doom. If I saw him against me in war, I know I'd be pretty doomed. However, Doom isn't the only one with 5 beta stones. This player puts his stones in a star-like design, which is just flexing at this point, while this player decided to arrange his stones into a nice heart. We can't really discuss rarity without talking about decorations and special obstacles, because this is where a true Clasher's hoarding habit comes into play. This player has a lot of obstacles randomly scattered around the base. On the other hand, this player is a neat freak, collecting obstacles in a well-organized fashion, surrounding his base with layers and layers of decoration, almost to the point where there is no more space left for the actual base itself. While it can get messy and annoying at times, it's very nice to admire the beauty of these decorations. Decorations and obstacles are very easy to collect in comparison to presents, as one click and it's all over, or should I say one punch. This player must feel this pain 100 times every time they log on to Clash of Clans. Just look at the abundance of presents he has on his base. I would be genuinely so scared to even open this account ever, but I do have to say it would be quite a gem to discover this in multiplayer. However, a base is worth more than just a few decorations. Clash of Clans has come out with hundreds of exclusive sceneries and even cosmetics in the game, and this player was not shy about purchasing practically everything. This video is a bit outdated, so I wonder if this player still kept up with all of their purchases, especially considering the price hike of all the legendary sceneries. This is a base that contains 4 of those OG stones as talked about earlier, but even cooler than that, he also has no name. It must be really confusing trying to friend this person or seeing this on the other side of a war attack. If there's one thing that all of us Clash of Clans players have in common, is joining clans and being able to participate in war. Well, apparently not all of us, because this player is a near max Town Hall 17 and has not built the CC. He has 0 war stars, never built a clan castle, never collected loot from the clan castle, never donated, never won any wars. This guy was never playing Clash of Clans, he was just playing Clash of. This player is quite the opposite, however. At only Town Hall 1, he somehow managed to finesse the game into allowing him to obtain a clan castle, which is absolutely crazy on so many levels. Firstly, how did he stay at Town Hall 1 if the game forces you to upgrade your Town Hall in the tutorial? And secondly, how on earth did he unlock the clan castle 3 town halls ahead? I wonder whether or not it's even possible to play on that account, or the game might just auto upgrade your base for you. Bases aside, a clan could also be considered rare depending on what it offers, like status, level, or in this case, ownership. While most clans boast 1 leader, this clan has 2 leaders. My question is, how did that even happen? And does 1 leader have the authority to kick another leader? This player's base has over 100 unique decorations and obstacles, but what's more impressive is the fact that it's an engineered base. To progress to Town Hall 11, many defenses are required to be placed down, not to mention collectors, mines, and storages. But this Town Hall 11 has none of that. From its name, an engineered base is designed in a way where none of these defenses and and other buildings are required to progress to a certain town hall. This was probably done a long time ago before Supercell updated their code or when selling buildings was allowed, as now this player is practically stuck at Town Hall 11. This next base was surprisingly leaked in a Clash of Clans animation, and if you visit the base, you'll notice that it's a low town hall level, but with tons of decorations, and a lot of those being new ones that aren't even released yet. Like, here's a goblin chest, some sort of snake decoration, a barbarian fountain, a league hammer, and a lot more. However, that's not the only strange thing about this base. If you click on the base's profile, you can see that this account has been to Legends League, while only being at a Town Hall 4, leading players to believe that this must be a developer account. This next base might seem like your standard Town Hall 7 account, until you look around and you find no defenses other than this worthless cannon. Well, at least troops will get stuck on this base's walls, right? Until you realize this base also has no walls. In fact, this base is pretty much cooked if an enemy decides to attack. Surprisingly though, this player is still a Clash of Clans veteran. He has some of the rarest presents, but also has Clash of Clans 5th anniversary cake decoration. To put into perspective for you, it's currently Clash of Clans 13th anniversary, which is a crazy difference. So far, we've seen players without defenses, storages, and a few other necessary buildings, but this next base is even more cursed. This player somehow managed to completely get rid of his town hall. Yeah, not only is it missing from the obvious spot where it should be placed in this layout, but if you look around the rest of the map, you'll realize that he doesn't actually have one at all. While it's easy to say that this guy might just be hacking, there was a brief time when the game first came out that it was actually possible to sell your buildings after buying them. Not many people did this though for obvious reasons, and this player ended up getting banned for taking advantage of this glitch. I wonder what would have happened if you tried to attack him. Would you have been stuck at 99% 1 star? Who knows? Most of us have tried to move a building outside of the map sometime or another. However, since it's only a visual glitch, it doesn't actually cause the building to be placed outside of the buildable area. The same can't be said about this player though, since he was able to successfully move one of his gold mines into the forest on the right side of the base. We know this one's real because visiting the player before he got banned allowed us to interact with the gold mine, not just see it. And unfortunately, like many others on this list, this player eventually ended up getting banned for cheating. While some players like to remove buildings from their base in order to make them rare, this player did the exact opposite. At Town Hall 1, Moritz's base didn't have 1 cannon, but it had 2. And if you're wondering how on earth a Town Hall 1 can be spectated, I had the same exact question, and my theory is that he just set his name, which creates the count, and then he just stopped playing after that, before moving on to Town Hall 2, which is part of the tutorial. Technically, when you create your name, that's when the account is set. But about unlocking the 2 cannons is probably even crazier. Some have a theory on how he might have gotten them. If you notice during the tutorial, Town Hall 1 can actually have 2 cannons, but it's not supposed to be possible because the game has you move on to Town Hall 2 before you can build it. Some people say there's actually a way to force the game back into the shop during the tutorial to build that second cannon. But the craziest part that I just realized is that these cannons aren't even level 1, they're both level 2. 2 fully upgraded level 2 cannons upgraded at Town Hall 1. That's insane. And if you don't believe me, go visit the base yourself. The tag is on the screen right now. In the old days of Clash of Clans, players didn't even have tags, and neither did clans. Those only got added later in 2014. After the update, everyone got a random tag assigned to their profile and clan tag. This gets even stranger when you look at another clan like Freemax Town Hall 10. Back in 2019, it was an ordinary clan where you could visit all 3 members. Though their profiles wouldn't load properly, by 2023, you couldn't even visit the bases at all. And now in 2025, the clan has mysteriously lost 2 of its OG members completely. Whether this was an inactivity glitch or something else that happened in the game, it's definitely one of the stranger cases out there. This next player might seem to have an ordinary Town Hall 12 base. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to try and spot anything wrong with it. If you didn't catch it, this player has Town Hall 13 defenses like the scatter shot at Town Hall 12. Not only that, but several of his building levels are actually higher than he can upgrade them to at Town Hall 12. And if you thought this was all, then you'd be very wrong, since this player has a few more tricks up his sleeve waiting for you on the builder base. As soon as you click the boat, you're flooded with duplicated buildings. Most interestingly, you can see that this player has 2 builder halls, 2 labs, 2 clock towers, and 3 barbarian stones, all of which makes his overlapping buildings and walls look completely normal. What's even crazier is that the duplicated buildings might be related, since I noticed most of the buildings that were duplicated were originally there when you first unlocked the builder base. Sadly, however, this account, just like many of the other players on this list, ended up getting banned shortly after it was shared online. This next base is probably one of, if not the rarest base in Clash of Clans history, and it's one that's been talked about hundreds of times because it has obstacles that are unique to this base. Of course, I'm talking about ARL from the Revenge Clan. This was the OG rarest base in Clash of Clans that everybody milked. I mean, do I even have to explain? He's got things like level 8 cannons with a Town Hall 5, level 9 elixir storages, and remember when I said that the 4-sided stone was the rarest obstacle? Well, I lied, because this base has the true rarest obstacle, the Goblin Pole. Yes, the same Goblin Pole from the tutorial maps, and along with it came the Goblin Map stones. The only explanation that anyone's been able to come up with for this account was that it was a developer account that Supercell forgot to delete, and it ended up live in the game. This next account features one of the rarest bases, not because it has cool decorations or obstacles, but because it has buggy buildings. But I mean, we've seen that before, right? Well, we've seen bases with different level town halls, no town halls, but have you seen a town castle or a clan hall? However you want to call it. When you spectate this player's base, it doesn't show it rebuilt, and it actually shows the buildings overlapping, creating a pretty rare 1x1 cannon building that's completely surrounded by walls. Many players upgrade their town halls in order to get the best armies and troops. However, this player was a little impatient and didn't want to progress the traditional way, so he went ahead and got an Electro Dragon and a Baby Dragon out of Town Hall 4. Pretty unfortunate for those town halls that have to go up against him. This next village is a Town Hall 9 account that is surprisingly empty, has no heroes, pets, spells, or even troops unlocked, but yet it's a Town Hall 9? If you visit this rare base, you can see that it has nothing but 2 expos, no other defenses and useful buildings, similar to other players we've seen previously. However, what's interesting is that this base doesn't even have the level 1 cannon that's featured in the tutorial. And here we are at Clash of Clans' rarest base, or the most bugged at least. Back in the day where this base was still alive, it would terrorize whoever tried to access it. No, seriously, if you search up their profile, you'd see a Town Hall 1 base that somehow has heroes and other troops, but that's not even the craziest thing. When you go ahead and try and access the base, it shows an empty village, and when you decide to click the village, well, this happens. You don't visit anything, and it ends up crashing the app completely. I don't know how this base was made or created, but this has definitely topped the cake for the rarest and the most bugged village out there.